Let's see, it is now 6:02 p.m. I'll call this meeting of the Coventry Sewer Board of Review to order. And I'll take attendance. Lynn Skirka, that is me, I'm here. Mike Sakosha,
Here.
Tony Raposo.
He's online. I
I
can see it.
know, he's muted though.
Tony, unmute yourself.
Tony, can you hear us?
It takes two Raposos to Zoom.
Tony, can you hear us?
Can you read that?
I don't think he can hear us.
He can hear us, but we can't hear him.
Tony, you're muted.
Okay.
Oh,
Here we
there you
go.
go.
Oh, there
There
you
you go.
go.
Start to breathe here. Start to breathe. What is making that?
Tony, we just did roll call. Say you're here.
I'm here.
All right. Let's see, for the public, if in the event you need to evacuate that room, that door in the corner will exit the room, and the door immediately outside that door will go to the building exterior. The first order of business is sewer appeal hearing for Gary and Barbara Wilson. Assessors Plat 60, Lot 8, 1580 Main Street. Is that Mr. or Mrs. Wilson in the room?
Mr. Wilson is here.
Hey, Mr. Wilson, could you please state your name and address for the record?
Gary James Wilson, 1580 Main Street, Coventry, Rhode Island.
All right, so appears that you have a sewer assessment and you submitted your appeal. Let me see. If there's anything that you want to inform this board of, you can inform us right now.
All right, first of all, correct me if I'm wrong, but we received a letter saying the sewers were put in under a grant. Is this correct?
One particular section of sewers was installed with a grant, but the grant didn't fund 100% of it. Can you tell me exactly where your address is?
Yes, sir. You know where Leader Street is?
No, but I know 117, right? Is this after the bike path crossing heading west?
Oh, it's well before.
Okay,
I'm halfway between that bike crossing and the town hall.
okay,
If you come from the town hall and go by my house, Leader Street and First Street and Second Street are behind my house. All my utilities, water, sewer, everything comes from Leader Street, not from Main Street.
okay,
I cannot tie into the Main Street line because the expense would be phenomenal. My sewer, my pipes are in the back of the house, which means we'd have to run it along the house halfway back. I mean, it's going to cost like $10,000. I can't afford that. Second of all, we were told, we got a letter saying our sewers were put in by a grant and we would not be charged. Now we're being charged. We can't afford it. We do not have $300 a quarter. We are not able to pay our bills with what we have. We are barely, when I got the rebate of the stimulus money, $600 last week, we spent it all on groceries. We did not have a goddamn thing in the house to eat. I can't afford this.
Your property, under the sewer project that put sewers in for your house, a portion of the money for that project was provided for by a grant. At one point, there was a bunch of letters that went out saying that a portion of the project was funded by a grant, and the expectation was that the people weren't going to have to pay sewer assessments right away. So there was a 5-year deferment where the sewer assessments were going to happen. It's just that they were going to be delayed by a 5-year period. So I'm not sure when that 5-year period ended. I know it was recently. That's why everybody received their sewer assessments for your neighborhood. But that sewer assessment was just temporarily deferred for 5 years. It wasn't a completely voided for you. And that 5-year deferment is up, and now the sewer assessment is in place for the next 20 years.
So for $300 a quarter for the next 20 years, for what? We're not going to use the sewer. We have just put in a new septic system right before the sewers went through.
When did you do that? Hang on one second. When did you put that septic system in?
5 years ago, approximately. I don't have the date with me.
Hang on a minute. I'm going to try to look it up right now.
Okay. Roy Plant put it in.
What was the address again?
1580 Main Street.
Does anybody have the plat and lot number there available?
Yes.
Yep.
60, lot 8.
All right, so 1580 Main Street, your time frame might be a little delayed. It says your septic system was conformed in 2002.
That long ago?
Yeah.
Time flies when you get old.
All right. I was hoping we could give you some help. Typically, if you have put a septic system in within 10 years, we can continue to defer that assessment for 10 years after the date of your septic system. However, you're pushing almost 20 years at this point.
I didn't realize it was that long, honestly.
Right.
Didn't seem
Um,
that long.
So as far as whether you were properly assessed or not, and let me just give you a little bit of history. This board doesn't have the authority to change your assessment or change the value or even change the calculation in which the town got to it. So the only authority that we have is to determine whether the assessment that was performed on your property was correct or not. And based on the engineering and the data provided, the town did install the sewers abutting your property. They did install a sewer lateral for your property. Therefore, you are subject to an assessment. And I believe they did give you a $5,000 credit on the assessment for the pump that you required. So it seems like the town has properly assessed you. And I don't see any other data to support that they did
Well,
anything wrong.
the town can properly assess me, but I can't pay the town.
Right.
I am struggling to pay the town taxes. Actually, we're actually behind, and we're trying to get the money together to pay our taxes. I can't pay the taxes. I can't pay my medical bills. I was twice in the hospital in the COVID-19 isolation ward. I've been in the hospital since then. All my money is gone. Every dime, it's gone. I don't have the money to pay $300 a month every 3 months. I don't have the money to pay my taxes. I'm trying to put together the money to catch up on my taxes. I can't pay this assessment.
I understand. Steph, is there any
I
finance?
can't refinance.
Yes,
We have spent every dime we had in the bank, so we're not eligible to refinance. I'm not gonna go on a reverse mortgage because they just take your home away from you. We're at the end of our rope. What do you
Can I
want
ask
me
a
to do?
question? Can I
I
ask?
can't pay this money.
All right, hang on one second. We have Monique Cool on the line. Monique, go ahead with your question.
Mr. Wilson, have you applied for the tax freeze on your taxes?
We already have the grandfather.
Have you also applied for the additional money off because of low income?
I approached the state for low income and they said I'm $200 over the limit and they denied me.
Did you apply at the assessor's office?
No, I did not.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you to do that. Because we do also have additional money that can come off your bill.
Oh, that would be so good.
And then we also have human services that you can go to human services and they'll set you up with a social worker, and the social worker will try to help you with food. We have a Waterman Fisk Fund. They might be able to pay an oil bill for you, and then maybe the money you would have used for the oil bill you can use for the sewer.
I do get oil assistance. I do get heat assistance. I applied for everything I could that I knew of, and they did help us out with the heat. That's the only That's the
Oh, with
only
the-
thing we've got so far.
With the
Oh.
additional changes because of your health and because of COVID, maybe you can go back and see if there's anything new that you may qualify for.
Okay, where do I go?
Human Services on Wood
Sure.
Street.
Is there a phone? Oh, where at?
Wood Street, it's 822-9177
Okay, Wood Street.
or
right
9175.
By the police station.
Yeah, and then you can you can call the tax assessor tomorrow and ask them for the paperwork for the low income.
Low income paperwork. Okay. I will do that. I will do this the first thing in the morning.
Okay. That was it.
Mr. Wilson, just so you know, you can't come in town hall. I can take your phone number and name, and I can have the tax assessor reach out to you, if
Well,
that's
that-
okay.
That would be good. Thank you. This has been a nightmare. Okay.
All right, Mr. Wilson, there's little more that this board can do except produce a vote. Unless there's anything else that you want to add, I think we'll just move to that action.
No, I brought my medical records, which show that I pay $260 a month on my medical bills, and I'm way behind. So other than that, I thank you for your time.
All right. Well, I hope things look up for you in the future. But unfortunately, this board doesn't have any solution that you're looking to hear from.
Mhm.
All right, if you have nothing else, then I'm gonna entertain a motion that this appeal be denied under the expectation that the town has in fact properly assessed the property at 1580 Main Street.
I'll second the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, the ayes have it.
But is there a discussion after that, or?
Yeah, we just did that.
Oh, I didn't know you would,
Is there anything you want to discuss?
I just wanted to know the rate of what he was paying. It's gonna be the previous rate prior to the increase, right? At the 58?
I believe his bill is part of the,
The old rate when it was installed,
He's
I think
on
it
the new
was.
contract.
Plus it was minus the pump.
minus the pump, right?
It was under the $60.86.
$60.80. Okay.
Yes. With the $5,000 pump credit.
Okay.
all right, Stephanie, do you need to switch applicants?
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm going to give you the tax assessor number. Okay, so you can call them,
Thank you.
either Cheryl Kane or, yes, 822-9162. So we're open from 8:30 to 4:30. So call her first before you come into town hall. She'll tell you what you need to do.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank
So
you
good
very
luck.
much.
Thank you. Okay. The board is on, they can. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You will.
Glenn, just so you know, appeal number 20-02 is not here. They asked to reschedule.
Okay, Is it-
So,
we want to table it till next meeting?
yes.
Okay. All right, let's see. All right, I'll make the motion to table appeal number 2020-02, George Caldow, Assessors Plat 38, Lot 19, 62 Lakeside Drive.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Appeal. Opposed? Hearing none, the ayes have it. So the next order of business will be appeal number 2020-05, Deborah and Teresa Dardine. Is that who you have, Steph?
Yes.
Okay. All right, so we'll move on to next order of business. Is Deborah or Teresa Dardine in the room?
Yeah, we're both here.
All right, could you both please state your name and address for the record?
Okay, Teresa Dardine, 21 Isles Road, Coventry, Rhode Island.
Deborah Dardine, 21 Old Road, Coventry.
All right, hi, ladies.
Hi.
All right, so you sent us an appeal for your sewer assessment, and I read the letter that you submitted,
That was me.
right? And let me see. So the issue that you guys had was the side road, Hazel Road, right?
Yes, we have to hook up on Hazel. The engineer told us that we have to hook up on Hazel, not Arnold.
Right,
We have too much ledge in the front, that
Yep.
it's impossible for us to go that way, that we have to do Hazel.
right. So I pulled the engineering this week, and that there is a sewer line that comes from Hazel into Arnold Road. And there is a lateral there for you guys to tie into.
Are you talking about where the pole is out in front or on the street?
It's stubbed up to your property line from Hazel.
Okay, so when the engineer came into I've had him come into my house, and he told me I couldn't hook up directly at the front. There's another telephone pole on Hazel, which is on the side of my property, that he said he was going to make put something on the blueprint that we have to hook up over there. That'll be impossible to hook up the other way. There'll be too much going through my property and everything. That'll be easier to go the other way.
Yep.
The only reason why I called you is because I got a bill and it said about me hooking up. And I said, I can't hook up by the front or by that one that's on Arnold Road. I have to go to the middle of my property and hook up at the telephone pole there on Hazel. That's the only reason why I'm here.
Yeah, so typically this appeal is for people who don't want to pay their sewer assessment bill under the, say, a condition that, there is no lateral for them to connect to. But in your case, you do have a lateral to connect to. And it's installed, and it's there for your use whenever you're ready. And the assessment was sent to you because that lateral was put in for your use.
Okay, when was that put in? Was that put in on the telephone pole that's on the side of my property? Not on the front, but on the side?
It's on the side, very close to the corner.
No,
No, not that one. We can't do
can't do
that.
that one. Because if you
I
come
mean,
to that corner, we have a pool there, but we also have a retaining wall that will come through that way.
And
So that's why the guy said where the telephone pole is, it'd be easier to come straight across.
on Hazel Road. There's another telephone pole on Hazel Road, which is in the middle of my property. And he said right there, he was gonna put it on the blueprint that I have to hook over there. And he told us that at that time, they had no contract to do anything on Hazel yet. All they had was Arnold Road. That's why I'm saying I can't hook up. He told me I'm unable to hook up on that one there on Arnold Road. Because it would be, I say about going through our property
Going through,
and going through our fence and going through the ledging and
well, because
everything.
of the wall that's back
Yeah, the
there.
wall that's back there, that it would be too much, that it had to be where the telephone pole is on Hazel. Not the first one in front, but the middle one and the second one that's near my property.
So I'm looking at the map here.
Yeah, we have it here too.
All right, so the lateral that they put in is, if you can see the dimensions on there, it's 12.5 feet from the utility pole at the corner and 21 feet off the fence on the side of your house.
That's it.
I don't know. Where's the big blow up that he did?
That's it right there.
That's it.
Because they're talking about from the one that's over here.
Yeah, the one that's in front here.
Oh.
They would have to go all the way through here and then go this way
Yeah,
and then this
because-
way.
I don't know if you can't see this very well, but I know you're talking about the hookup that's right here
In the
in
front,
front. Because here's Arnold Road, here's Hazel, and the hookup's right here. But I have a retaining wall that's an L shape here. So, I mean, you can't exactly go straight diagonal across. You'd have to go up and across. So that's why he said where the telephone pole is here, to go across that way.
that way, then all you have to do is just go right through my property and hook that way. It'd be much easier.
Yeah, so I can't see what
No,
you
you
got.
can't see it,
See
it's too
that?
small.
The camera in that room is far away from you guys.
Does this help at all?
Let's see.
Yeah, that's a lot better.
Is that an aerial photo?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay. So right there at the corner on your lot is where the lateral is,
Right here,
Yep. right
Right.
there.
right.
And you can't connect to that?
Well, because if you go through the back, I have a wall right here. This is an L-shaped wall right here,
yeah.
retaining wall.
He said it would have to go through that wall, and we couldn't do it that
You
way.
can't go that way.
So that's why he said to go on the
That's why
telephone,
you said, where the telephone pole is here, to come
yeah,
across,
and come across my lawn in the back.
because of the wall.
Excuse me, Chairman.
Yes.
This particular section of the sewer line, is this is a pump, the pump section, is it not?
It is. It is a force main lateral.
So if they were to put the pump in the backyard and come out to this second telephone pole, they would be able to go along that fence line and tie into the lateral at the corner, would they
Yes.
not?
Yes.
So you're saying go this way and then down?
So
Yeah.
I don't know how much you guys know about sewers, but on your sewer assessment, you were given a $5,000 credit because you are required to install a pump.
Okay,
So what that means is you either have the option of installing that pump anywhere on your property, and then routing the line from the pump to the lateral that the town provided for you.
Okay, so.
It
okay,
can go
ahead.
uphill, sideways, downhill, just about in any direction because it's under pressure from the pump that you have to install.
Okay, another thing they told us too, if the power goes off, that pump automatically shuts off. And we
It
won't-
does. It does. You do have a little bit of storage in there, so it doesn't stop you from, say, using your toilet or
Yeah,
thing. You know, it is an issue if the power is out for, say, more than 24 hours.
okay, so what you're saying is you want us to hook up from the street, go down Hazel Road, and then hook across from where the other telephone pole is into my property? Is that what you're saying?
I don't know where the other telephone pole is. I don't see
All right,
that.
show him where it is.
It's midway.
It's
It's
Glenn,
right here.
Glenn, can you see this picture?
Yeah,
Okay, that's the Google Earth street view of Hazel Street looking at Arnold Road stop sign. It might
Okay.
appear to be backwards because of I'm showing it to you through Zoom.
right. Okay, so there's a retaining wall at the property line.
You can see the pool behind the fence. There's
Yeah.
there's an 18-inch retaining wall behind that fence.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it looks like, I don't know, I'm gonna guess right now, but I think you might have a couple of options where you may be able to put the pump in the front yard and reroute the plumbing inside your house instead of outside and save you a lot of excavation costs. I don't know without all the details, but I do know that wherever your plumbing is outside, you could run a line completely around your house or around the fence and down the side of the fence.
All up in here is all ledge.
They said it's all ledge in the front.
Oh,
That's why
Yeah.
you said this way and across.
Yeah,
Because when they were digging the street, this was all ledge up here.
yeah. That's why he said.
That's
we
why
had-
you said for it to come down this
The
way.
engineer
and
said we
across.
have to go the other way.
well, it looks like we may have to put the town engineer on this and actually evaluate it. However, it is very unfortunate for you guys tonight because we have a confirmation from the town engineer that says a lateral was put into your property. And that is the minimum criteria for you to receive an assessment. We can look into the details later, but unfortunately, I don't think we're going to be able to table the issue because the information is there that says you have a lateral, it is stubbed into your property or close to it, and it's functioning. So that means you are required to have an assessment. The town did not improperly assess you because of the site constraints on your property. However, in the future, if you do want to actually tie in, we would have to, help you figure out exactly how to tie in. But the means are there for you to do it, and the assessment seems to be valid. So do you guys have any intent on trying to tie into this soon?
Oh, no, not right now, but eventually maybe I will, yes, but not right now. No, not right now.
Okay, so we got a little bit of time to figure out exactly what's going to work. However, it's pretty unfortunate that the town's requirements aren't to install the sewer lateral where the subsurface conditions are achievable for your property. It's up to the town to put it in where it's suitable in the public right of way. So if you got some obstacles to maneuver around on your own property, it's not the town's responsibility to do that for you. But the town usually is pretty good at helping you figure out the best way to do it. But it's not a requirement that we have to.
Okay, so now you're saying that that bill that you send me here, I have to pay that $347 even though I'm not hooked into it?
Yes, so that bill is for the construction costs of all the infrastructure in the road and the lateral that serves your property.
Oh, so that's what this is.
Right,
That's just for that hookup that's in the front.
right,
I have to pay for that, even though I'm not using it yet, I have to pay for it.
right.
I'm
You can
paying-
tie into it at any point and start using it. But whenever you're ready, it'll be there for you.
I don't understand. I'm paying for what they put in, we're paying for what they put in the road and for that hookup. Even though we're not using it, we still have to pay that $347.
Well, actually, $13.90 total.
The whole of $13.90. Is that $13.90 a year we gotta pay for, even though we're not hooked up into it?
I don't know what your bill is, but I'm pretty sure there's a quarterly payment number on there.
Yeah, it says 100 and,
No, 347.
347 quarterly.
So you'll get 4 of those a year for the next 20 years.
Oh my God. And we'll keep getting this here bill every year until we, and even when we hook up, do we still pay this?
Yes, you have that bill for 20 more years.
For 20 years.
Right,
So we're paying for what you did on the main road
right,
and for the hookup.
Yep.
That's what this is.
right.
Okay. I thought this was my payment for me to hook up into it. But this isn't, this is just to pay for what they put on the road for the hookup, not for us getting into the hookup. All right, how much is it gonna cost for us to get into the hookup? Say we hook up from the street, going all the way down Hazel into my property. How much is it gonna cost me then?
I don't know. I mean, I'd hate to guess at it, but I'd say if you there's a lot of professionals in town that could come and look at it and give you an actual estimate of what it would be.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like you have a few different options, and I would try to figure out what the cheapest one is. Like I said earlier, you are required to have a pump. So you can put that pump anywhere on the property and then route your discharge from that pump in any direction or configuration within your property to get to that lateral that's there.
So every person in the town has received this here to pay their.
Every person who has a sewer line in front of their house has
has
received.
has got this bill.
Yeah.
And that's just for paying for what was put in the front of us for the hookup.
Right,
So even though we're gonna get this every year for 20 years, correct?
correct.
Will it ever go up or ever go down?
It'll go down every quarter that you pay a little bit of it off.
No, what I'm saying is for 20 years.
Oh, the payment,
Yes, will the payment stay at the same?
it will stay at that same. That bill that you have, you can pay the whole thing off if you choose to,
Yeah,
or you can pay it quarterly, or you can pay anything above the quarterly between now and 20 years. But essentially, if you pay it off now, you're gonna pay whatever the total value is.
yeah,
If you
1,300.
pay it quarterly, you're gonna pay a little bit more because of the interest rate and stuff over time.
Mhm. Wow,
But the quarterly payment will not change over the next 20 years.
even though with taxes or anything, it's not gonna change.
Right.
So we have to pay this even though, even when we hook up, we're still gonna have to pay this, correct?
Correct.
Yeah.
This is something, okay, that's what I was wondering what this was. I thought this had to deal with hooking up, and that's why I said to the girl, I said, if this is for me hooking up, I said, why am I getting this bill now when I'm not hooked up?
Right.
And then that's when I told her about where we were supposed to hook up and everything. And that's when she told me to make out the appeal.
Right. That cost is for the lateral in front of your house. It's
Mhm.
for the sewer main in Arnold Road.
Yeah,
It's for the pump station on Sandy Bottom Road. It's for the infrastructure to go from Sandy Bottom Road to West Warwick Treatment Plant. And it covers the cost of the actual treatment plant itself.
I gotcha, okay. Okay, now this, I got one, nothing I'm asking, does everybody have the same amount to pay? Or it goes according to where you're located?
It goes according to your usage. So whatever the number of bedrooms is in your house when the town built that sewer infrastructure
Yeah,
is what you're charged. So if it's 2 bedrooms, it's one fee. If it's 3 bedrooms, it's higher. If it's 4 bedrooms, it's even higher.
okay,
So it's based on the tax card that the town has and the number of bedrooms that you have on your property.
okay, I got you. All right, so now I know what this was. All right. Answers my question.
Okay.
Yep.
Anybody on the board have any questions?
The little man in the corner is very quiet.
You know?
You are very quiet.
See?
Yes, you are very quiet.
I feel for you guys because I'm disgusted as well, but it's, it is what it is with this sewer assessment stuff. I've talked to Glenn many times about trying to lower this thing, but we gotta think out of the box and try to figure out how to help the people in this town with this, with these assessments. They are high.
Yeah, do you all live in Coventry?
Yes.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
We have to be on any kind of board in Coventry, you have to be a resident.
Oh, okay.
Is there anybody that can come out and help us look how we're gonna do this?
Yeah, so there's a number of sewer professionals in Coventry. Both Tony and Mike here are sewer pros.
Mhm.
There's other guys that you've probably seen, like Ray Plant.
Mhm.
Yes,
You know, there's a bunch of them. And they can come over and look at your property and probably tell you what the best option is. But make sure you tell them that you need a pump. You're tying into a force main lateral.
mhm.
Okay.
All right.
Steph, on the bill, I see that they got a credit of 5,000. Is that credit after the 16 or is it already in the 16?
It's already in it.
It's already in it. Okay.
Normally it'd be 21.
Yeah. Yeah. It's unbelievable.
What are they talking about?
The
I need my
credit right here.
glasses.
There's a credit right here from 5,000.
What, towards this? Or towards the total bill? What are you talking
Ask
about?
them. Ask them what the-
All right, what's this credit? You mean 5,000 credit? Explain that to me.
All right, so because the town put a pump required system in the public right of way, it forces you to have a pump system. The
Mhm.
pump that is installed on your property, you have to purchase.
Yes,
So the town takes $5,000 off the assessment so that you can purchase that pump.
okay. How much, what's the price of the pump?
They're all different, but I believe, is your house a 2 or 3 bedroom house?
2.
2. So the pump package is usually around, I don't know, $3,500, 4,000. There's different name brands that you can purchase. You know, the price can go up a little bit, can go down a little.
Okay,
Okay.
all right, now I understand what this is. Okay.
You know, I already owe 2 quarters.
I owe 2 quarters.
You ladies have any other questions? for the board?
I owe 2 quarters now. Okay. By the time I look at this, we owe 2 quarters. All right. So now I know what this is. All right. Mhm.
So we do it on our own, we contact somebody to come out and assess of where we're gonna put it?
Yes, and when you're ready to pull the trigger and have somebody do it, you file an application for a sewer permit with the
Mhm.
town. They'll review the plan, look at the plans, authorize the plans, and it goes back to you with a permit, and then your installer can construct away.
Yeah, okay,
Okay.
all right.
All right.
If there's no questions from the board,
What else?
I was gonna say about,
well, anything else, ladies, or are you?
wait a minute, wait a minute.
She thinks so, hold on.
Wait a minute. No, grandma has to pay 3.
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with those.
I know, but I'm just saying, she had the Barrington,
different.
East Providence,
Yeah,
and then
that's different.
Providence. Okay, no, okay, I'm
We're
fine,
good.
we're fine. All right,
Since the town has installed a lateral serving your property and that lateral is functioning, and we have verification from the town engineer that that lateral is in service and servicing your particular property, that remains that the town has properly assessed you and that this appeal is most likely going to be denied. So I will entertain the motion to deny the appeal based on the provided information.
I'll second the denial.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, the ayes have it. Thank you, ladies. Sorry for the bad news, but thanks for coming in.
okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, stay safe, see you later.
Night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
One more, Steph?
Say hi, Glenn. Hi, Tony.
Hi.
Hello.
I had to steal Ariana's iPad, so she's wondering when she gets it back.
Good to go, Steph? You're muted. All right, moving on to the next order of business. It is George and Sherry Simmons. Assessors Plat 60, Lot 45, 1571 Main Street. I assume you are George and Sherry Simmons?
Yeah,
Yes,
All right, could you please state your name and address for the record?
Sherry Simmons, 1571 Main Street, Coventry, Rhode Island, 02816. My husband, George.
George Simmons, 1571 Main Street in Coventry, Rhode Island.
Good evening, how are you both?
Good.
So we received your appeal. I did look into the information for your lot prior to the meeting. I do understand your situation. Unfortunately, you not the only people in that situation. So George, you're on total disability, having some rough financial times,
Yes.
Yes.
right? So the only authority that this board has is to determine whether your assessment was properly determined or not. And what that means is if you have a sewer lateral that was installed to service your property and it is in place and functioning, then you are required to be served with a sewer assessment, and that is the bill you have. The only way we can do anything is if there was an error on behalf of the town, or that sewer service lateral was not functioning, or some other method that the town has used and improperly assessed you. But based on all the information provided by the town, that they have in fact put a lateral in, it is working, and you're required to receive that sewer assessment. The financial hardship you have, I believe the town has some programs to assist you, but however, appealing the sewer assessment itself isn't going to get you where you need to be. Is there any information that either one of you would like to add?
So no matter what your financial situation is, you still have to pay a quarterly fee of $350, you might as well say.
I think the town has some alternatives for you, but it's not through the sewer appeal process. So the assessment is put in place by law because the sewers were installed. So you can't avoid the assessment, but the town has some other programs, some financial hardship programs that will assist you, but they won't do anything about the assessment being placed on your home.
And we're not even hooked up to the sewers.
Right. So that sewer assessment is for the cost of the construction of all the infrastructure between your house and the town of West Warwick. And what that does is that fee gets you the means of installing sewers from your home to that lateral that the town installed. The work between your house and that lateral is on your expense to do at your convenience, but the work from the property line downstream to West Warwick is burdened by the town, and they send you that sewer assessment to recover the cost of all the construction to service your house.
I don't think it's fair to the people.
No, it isn't.
It isn't fair to the people. I honestly don't believe that. I mean, when you got senior citizens, most of us are living in a fixed income, a fixed rate, and we didn't ask for the sewers. And it's against the people.
Is there any chance that you may have installed a septic system in the last 10 years?
I have a new well, it's how many years?
Not in the last 10
Not
years.
in the last
but
10, but
Ray Plant put it in. We got a 1,000-gallon holding tank with a 4-section leach field.
Yeah, I saw that on
Matter
the letter.
of fact, when Ray come the last time and cleaned it out, we looked at it good, and it's still in good shape.
Right,
I ain't had a problem with it yet.
right. Well, if you had done a new septic within the last few years, we could have deferred this sewer assessment from 10 years from the point that you put the septic in. So it just would have been a delay, but if you're pretty sure it's more than 10 years ago, then that part of the ordinance isn't going to help you out.
I should have sold the house many years ago and said the heck with it, because it's beyond our means of financial stability. We had to borrow the money to pay the last two installments for the assessment. The $343, the last two payments, we had to borrow the money to pay that. Because if you don't pay it, you get interest calculated on it, and it makes it worse.
Right.
So, and other than the sewer assessment, we're still putting ourselves in a hole with with somebody else that we had to borrow the money from.
Right.
So we don't have the interest taxed on, and it's ridiculous.
So you owe two people now.
Right. We owe the town, and then we owe the people we have to borrow the money from.
Right. Steph, are you there? You're muted.
I'm sorry.
The information from the first people that we had similar issues,
Just, they can go see Bob Robelot at the Human Services.
and that's on Wood Street.
Yes.
Are you familiar with the facility on Wood Street?
Yes.
There's a Human Services office there.
Mm-hmm.
That you can talk to the people there and they can may be able to provide you some financial assistance to deal with this and maybe some other things as well.
Okay. That's all we have. No other choice.
Right. It's unfortunate. But it's also unfortunate that this board doesn't have any authority to do anything different than to determine if you were properly assessed or not. Is there any questions for these applicants from the board?
No,
Mhm.
I don't have any questions.
All right,
The
hearing
the
none.
only, Glenn, the only other thing I guess I would recommend is like what we did with the first applicant, where if they could reach out to the tax assessor also to see if there's any means for them there.
Right.
Do you guys qualify for frozen taxes?
My taxes are frozen
They are frozen, so.
because of
It's
his
frozen because
disability.
I'm on total disability.
He's had 2 heart attacks and a stroke, so they're frozen the
The
taxes.
government don't give you nothing, $1,100 a month.
Yep. So you might be able to
And
reach out.
Town goes, wait a minute, we'll put the swords in, we'll just bill them for that. Then, when you hook up, here comes another bill, 80% of your water bill.
And I have a $200 water bill. There's 6 people living in my house. It's,
I mean, there's another $160. Where I never seen the septic system, the holding tank is fine. If the holding tank was bad, I would have took it out and put a brand new one in there. And it would have been one thing, and that's it.
Right.
In other words, every time I get a drink of water, I gotta pay the town and Kent County Water.
Right.
you're always yelling at the kids, shut the water off. I gotta pay for that going down the drain. It's ridiculous. It was
So I
cheaper when we
wonder
used
what
to
the
pay the
town
water
thinks
bill
up
once a
next.
month than when we paid it a quarter. It's ridiculous. The older you get, the less you can afford to live.
Right. Doesn't get cheaper.
No, it doesn't. We've been in that house for over 40 years and it's getting harder and harder to live there.
It's pretty sad when you live in Coventry like she did all her life. Now she can't wait to get out of it.
Right.
I can't. I
I
wish I
mean-
had sold my house many years ago.
Boom. All it is they want money, money, money. You can't live, you can't have a decent job and live a normal life. No. 2 people gotta be working all the time. You gotta be busting, and they'll come up with a new thing.
I work 60 hours a week and I can't afford to live. I pay bills like mostly everybody else.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. And you know what stinks? What's it gonna be like when our grandchildren get bigger to survive in this stupid world? The economy, the way it's going, because it isn't for the people, for sure.
Amen. True.
It isn't.
You're right.
It's sad, the way the towns in this world is going. Because you bust your butt for what? Retirement? What is retirement? Because the average person cannot live on retirement with all the new bills they're throwing at us. And I'm not blaming you people or this and that, it's just the way it goes. We can't afford to live.
Yeah.
You exist to go to work, get up and go to work, come home, get your paycheck and pay bills.
You know what I like to see? I like to see this town council go out on total disability and get what I get a month and survive. They don't even look at it. They say, so what?
Gotta
Well-
pay it.
We'll just jack up our pay.
Yeah, I think that goes a little bit further than the town council as well.
Not just the town council, it's a lot of people,
Yeah,
but
a lot
it's
of
like,
people down in Rhode Island, in the government,
it's the whole
the state
state, the
house.
government, everything. The government should live on what we live on.
I mean, just
They
like,
never make it. But I'm not gonna sit here and argue, but I thank you for your
I'm
time
not
and I
arguing.
appreciate it, and we will check in with them people.
All right, good luck to you both. We still have to vote, but
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
it's okay. If there's no more questions from you, is there any questions from the board? Hearing none, I will entertain a motion to deny this appeal based on a lack of evidence provided and the documentation by the town that the property was in fact properly assessed, thereby denying this appeal.
I think it's ridiculous.
I'll second that, Glenn.
I just said I'll entertain it, so I need somebody to first it.
I'll make a motion. I'm sorry.
All right,
Correct.
Mike, you second it?
I'll second it.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Hearing none, the ayes have it. Thank you, folks, for coming. I hope things look up for you. I'm sorry we couldn't have given you any good news tonight.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, sorry about that.
I'll
Yeah.
give
I
them
feel for you guys and everybody else.
assistant fund where they can reach Bob.
All right, Steph, we're gonna adjourn.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hey, Glenn, before
Yeah.
we take off, I don't know if this is really up for this or if this is up for discussion when we have our regular sewer board meeting. So I noticed that it costs, when we buy an E1 pump for a house that requires a pump system, it costs around $5,200.
Right.
Plus if you put a transfer switch in, it's a couple
Can I give you a
extra
copy of
$100.
this? It's just called
The city of Warwick
Human Services.
purchases pumps and stores them, and they get a discounted rate. The rate is probably about $1,500 less by doing that.
Right.
And I had mentioned it to, I think I mentioned it to Kevin and Bruce. So they were gonna kind of look into that a little bit. I know the town doesn't seem to have an interest in wanting to buy the pumps and store them, kind of like Warwick does. But it would in our quest to try saving the public some money, that would be kind of an indirect way to save at least the town, the taxpayer and the sewer person user $1,500.
Right. So the issue with that for this town is that because nobody enforces the mandatory connection, it's a guessing game when people are going to tie in. And the problem we've had in the past is whenever the town has had a pump, they would sit around. By the time that it came to use them, the town would be on the hook for the maintenance and the operation of them because the public
They're out.
purchased them from
Yep.
the town, and the fact that they've been sitting in a box in a shed somewhere for the last 2, 3, maybe even 5 years.
Yep.
Because we don't have enough sewer users where pumps are readily being installed or even often, right? Because they're not. And there isn't a big population of pumps for the town right now. And there certainly isn't a big population of pumps on the horizon. So that is the reason we don't store them. And we don't want to take the liability of pumps that sit around in storage and then be used years later. So we just prefer that people buy their own pumps. They get the warranty that comes with it. They get it
Yep.
installed as soon as it's purchased, and everything seems to be good that way.
All right. Just thought I would throw that question out there and try try to save some people some money some way or the
Yeah.
other. So
Yeah. So we've tried in the past to get like a decent number from like Windwater, and years ago it was EJP and whoever else had pumps, that if we could get, even if it was a 10% discount for people within the town who needed a pump. But even that failed because, people were buying pumps from other places. So the flow of pumps is pretty minimal, and there isn't enough to justify any kind of special consideration for any of them.
No pun intended.
Right.
Right.
No pump intended.
all right.
All right. If there's no other questions or concerns, I'll make the motion to adjourn.
The second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, ayes have it. Good night.